Alright, welcome to episode 0 of Let's Make Zen, for real this time. This is my third attempt at recording this because I can't figure out a proper camera placement. um, so with this video, I just wanted to quickly discuss the project that we're going to be doing on Sundays. What exactly Project Zen is, what it's not, what to expect, what not to expect, you know, and more information about the things we're going to be working through together. Any viewers of mine, whether it's now or down the road. And I thought we would just begin with an introduction video today, so that on Sunday, October 14th, you guys would know more about what we're going to be doing, and every Sunday thereafter. So let's start. Let's begin with discussing what Zen is. It's an application, not a game. So there is no gameplay elements. There is no player, there is no interactivity. Think of it like a goldfish tank. Think of it like an ant farm or whatever, where you just watch them be. It's kind of like a self-acting simulation, like Animal Crossing, but automated. So there's going to be a town, there's going to be citizens. The town will evolve, the citizens will evolve. With luck, you can just watch this colony grow from almost nothing and constantly non-stop develop. That's the goal. We'll see how well in practice that works, but that's my end game. And so it's important to make that separation, though there is no gameplay element. I just wanted to make something that's very relaxing to watch, relaxing to... Oh, I hope I'm not messing this up too much. I don't know. To make, more than anything, I wanted it to be something that's relaxing, calm, and peaceful to just kind of use or watch. And the reason for that is I'm a fairly anxious person by nature. Like, it's just part of who I am. Ever since I was little, as far as I can remember, I've just been one of those worrywart type people that, constantly worrying about things. So anxiety and stress is pretty much always high for me. And when I got into programming, it was to, not really to, but it was a hobby of mine. It was something to distract me from my worries, my anxieties, and my stressors, and it'd be something that I enjoyed. But then I thought, what if we took that further? What if we made something? So I'm not using my hobby as an outlet necessarily for stress and anxiety, but like I just had something. What could I make that would further enhance my stress relief? And I thought, I know, we can have an anthill or an ant farm simulation. And I thought, no, the ants are too simple. Like, you watch them dig holes and grow. That's about it. What about a fish tank? You can at least decorate a fish tank. And, they're a little bit more complicated than ants, but not really. I mean, they interact with whatever world, but they don't get to actually dig. So at least ants are random and... Not random, but they can have different shaped colonies and stuff, and it's neat to see how they structure their tunnels and whatnot. And so then I thought, people. Let's build it around people. Let's watch a town grow from a small little tiny colony of maybe huts and tents or something very primitive, to watching it grow into a town and flourishing into maybe a small city type situation. Watching the technology grow, watching the people and everything just grow with it. And that's where I kind of just ended right there. Because with people, you can at least see things like festivities. You can watch them camp, hike, though there's not going to be hiking in this game. It's a 2D, think of it like a platformer game. Side scroller is the style we're going to be doing, but so there's no hiking, but Think of them fishing, boating, swimming, um, tending to their yard or their house, living in their house, just doing whatever, living their lives. And then you can just randomly check up and see how they're doing. Maybe that sounds creepy, but people watching has been also a hobby of mine because people are fascinating. People are fascinating because it's weird that a lot of them tend to act alike, but a lot of them also tend to act not alike. And so then when you see something new and unique, you wonder, well, why are they the way that they are? And maybe that's just further creepy, making this creepy, but that's the way I think. I just like to study behaviors and people, so don't judge me or judge me. I don't really care. Do what you will. Um, and so yeah, we're gonna take this uh, desire for something peaceful and relaxing, and we're going to make an application around it. I need to get this totally controlled. I have wires and cables everywhere. Um, what is Zen? What isn't Zen? What is Zen not? It's not a game. At first, anyway. The principle is it's an application. You just open it. You can check up on your town. You can close it. It happens in real time. I need to go back. I forgot to write a bullet point on here. It's real time. The one I'm going to be doing, like Animal Crossing, is going to be real time. 8 p.m. here is 8 p.m. there. October 9th here is October 9th there. I want the seasons to reflect it. I want weather patterns that seem realistic. I want a simulated environment with simulated people or something reacting and acting to this world based off of what's going on in that world. You know, if they live up by in a forest or something, it's going to be tough to find water. So are they going to colonize by the water, or are they going to stay by the forest where there's some wood resources? Stuff like that. Things to consider. I don't know for sure, but I want them to act and react to the world around them. And I want weather to be a factor. I want the world generation to be a factor. I just want to watch them. I want the worlds to be random for first and foremost. So every time you start a new garden is what I'm going to call them. It randomly generates a world. It randomly places a couple of denizens, and they just go. They just do their thing. And you watch them do whatever they do to get to where they need to survive. There's not going to be death in the game, at least maybe not by injuries and stuff. Maybe old age. That might be the extent of it. But you just watch them live and try to colonize in this world. Okay, so it's not a game at first, but there might be something called bonsai mode, and that's not going to be anything for the cameras. I'm going to be teaching you and showing you how to build the application Zen, which entails pretty much everything but interactivity. Other than scrolling a camera or panning and zooming in, zooming out, there's really not going to be a whole lot of interactivity with Zen. It's literally just an application to view this town or this colony living in this world. And that to me enough sounds peaceful. And that's probably all I really care about. But I discussed with a friend the possibility of interactivity in this world. And I thought, well, maybe bonsai mode. And bonsai mode will not be covered. We will not be programming bonsai mode into this game. If I choose to do bonsai mode, that's what I would That's what I would market. That's what I would try to maybe sell or something. I don't know. Having player interactivity, that's not important to me. But it might be fun for some people, and I could try to look into doing something like that for myself. So if you wanted to do your own Zen and build interactivity into yours as we go along, feel free. I will not be doing that, and my mode, bonsai mode for this, will not be covered if I choose to do it later, but I will probably maybe showcase it if I were to ever build something like that. We'll not be doing strong. We'll try to stay away from strong colors, sharp edges, loud noises, anything that can seem as a stressor, something that like pulls attention, that demands attention, something that seems strong. I want to refrain from that. I guess that's the best way I can put it. I want everything to seem soft and calm and natural and just relaxing. Everything about the application should invoke relaxation. With luck, with hope. That's what I want. So what do we need? You're going to need a C++ compiler. I'm going to be using the Microsoft Visual Studio IDE, at least to start off with. We're going to be using the SDL2 libraries, which is completely platform agnostic. You can develop this in any operating system you want, Linux, Mac, Windows. I like to use Linux a lot, so there might be a video down the road where I'm in Linux and we just start reworking where we left off in Linux, and if I happen to do that, I will do a sister video similar to this where it does not count as the episode on how to set up the environment and libraries, at least in Linux Mint is what I'm currently using. How to set that up, get it reworking so you can pull your code that you may have typed in Windows into Linux and just pick up where you left off. But we're going to start with Visual Studio Express IDE, which is free. You just have to register. Registering's free. It doesn't cost anything. But I also like to use code blocks as well. And if we ever happen to hop onto Linux and I'm coding in Linux, I will be using code blocks. And again, I will have a sister video uploaded just before that Sunday's episode showing you how to set it up in code blocks and Linux. Feel free to use whatever you want, just a C++ compiler or whatever language you might want to follow in. If you can translate my code in C++ to whatever you're going to be using, whether it be Java or Python or what have you, go for it. Do what is relaxing to you, for you. Oh, like I said, we'll be using SDL2 libraries and its satellite libraries. So like SDL2 image, audio, not sure really what else is in there that we'll need, but that's it for the most part. Is just SDL2. I'm not going to be doing OpenGL because I don't know OpenGL. Maybe we can learn OpenGL and translate some of the stuff to OpenGL, but that's not on the docket. It's just raw SDL2, which is good enough for me. It's a 2D application. That's all I need. You'll need an art program. I'm going to be using Krita, GIMP, and MyPaint. Those are all free and open source, and they are platform agnostic as well. You can get them on Mac, Linux, and Windows, though they are all built originally for Linux. This one's more important than all the others. It's a willingness to learn from mistakes and grow. And I say that because I'm not an expert at this. I am not. I've never finished an application, a graphical application that requires like images and pooling of objects, playing sounds, showing images, managing entities. I haven't finished anything like that. I really have maybe half an idea of what I'm doing that I should be. I'm butchering these words. I have half an idea of what I should be doing to build an application than not. And so I might be making mistakes, and that's fine. And I might be having episodes where I don't get a lot covered because I just simply don't know where the heck to go on a certain subject or an area, and that's fine. I'm not going to record videos where I'm learning about stuff. I'll try to do that ahead of time, and when I get that down, we'll be doing that on screen, and I will link external resources I used to get to where we need to go in the comments or in the details. What is that called on YouTube? View the details? I don't know. But I will link any resources I used that covered subjects I'm not entirely confident about, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to refrain from having episodes where I'm just like researching documentation. I'll have the documentation open quite a bit on the videos, but I won't be doing me watching Khan Academy videos or something. I'm not a very, I just learn things as I go. Optional, a drawing tablet. And I say that because I'm gonna be using um, freehand style art. So that's not pixel art. This is the tablet I got. I got this like 7 years ago for like $99, but I just did a eBay search for this exact model, the Bamboo Wacom CTL 460. On eBay, it's like 20 bucks, 15 to 20 bucks used. But there's an Intuos tablet I just saw on Best Buy and stuff for like 60 bucks or something like that. And it comes with even Corel drawing software, and it seems really nice. It's comparable to that in functionality, but I can't imagine doing this art that I need for Zen with a pen or with a mouse. But if you can do that, go for it. I recommend a drawing tablet or maybe using your own pixel art or something if you're going to use a mouse. I don't know how tough it's going to be to use a mouse with art like that, because we're going to be doing watercolors. That's the art theme I want to use. I want to try using watercolor theming for most of everything, for the environment, for the housing and colonies and everything except, and I don't think this is going to be really well, so I think we're going to have to use a different art medium or style for the citizens or anything that requires like detailed animation. We're going to have to try to look for something else because I can't imagine easily doing a watercolor painted person moving and drinking coffee or smoking a cigarette or going fishing or whatever they're doing. I don't know. Nathan does not condone in smoking of cigarettes. Please don't smoke. But there might be some citizens who smoke. I don't know. So we'll cover the art styles later. We'll cover that. I just thought I'd let you know that everything you'll need is free, with the exception of a drawing tablet if you choose to get one. And everything should be, for the most part, open source except Visual Studio IDE, and that's fine. It's just it's so good. It is really good. But code blocks is really well too. I love code blocks. In fact, I've primarily coded in code blocks, even for college. They want me to send a Visual Studio project thing. No, I'll do it all in code blocks and then import the files into a Visual Studio project and then export it or save it and then give them that at the end after I've already finished the project. Anyway, when it comes to audio, I don't know much about audio, digital audio recording, editing. I don't know anything about that, so I didn't list any of that. But I do know that there's some software like Audacity that does some tweaking and editing of audio. I think I'm not sure what everything does. I don't. That's why I didn't list anything, because I don't know anything about audio on the digital side. But we are going to be recording our own sound effects because I don't want to worry about licenses. I want everything to be from me, and hopefully your guys is from you. I will not be uploading my art assets and my sound assets to download. I'll leave that for you guys to figure out what to do yourselves, whether you find some online that you can use or record your own. I'm just going to be showing the code and showing you how I draw. That will be on screen too. I will be painting and drawing and coding. Follow along if you want. Anyway, let's move on. Project milestone goals, and these are all tentative, but let's start with just at least displaying an image and getting that image to move around. So like getting a frame limiter and FPS and stuff down, regulating motion and light physics and stuff for now. After that, we're going to start building some art assets to import to our game to try to start building our world. And once we get a rudimentary world built up, where there's just the ground and maybe some primitive fauna and plants and stuff. We're gonna start doing the winter theme because it's middle of fall right now. I don't imagine we'll be able to do anything fall and have it be fall in real time. It'll be winter and snow and stuff for anyone in the northern hemisphere. My daughter's back to hound me. I'm gonna try to wrap this up. So I want snow. We'll be working on that. Having weather effects like wind, rain, not rain, wind, snow, clouds, fog, day and night. Um, Maybe having like not a dead but a sleeping tree where the leaves are off, or if there's a um, coniferous one with just snow that collects on some of its pines and stuff, have some light trees and stuff and having them react to the weather and the wind and whatnot. After we get done with our winter theme, we're going to start moving on to building our citizens. And I don't know how exactly that's going to work out. We'll be having to touch into AI. We'll have to look at what art style to use for them. It's going to probably be a lengthy subject, and that's just thinking off the top of my head. But once we get the first one done, we should be able to use it as a cookie cutter for other separate, like varied ones, and with that, hopefully get a colony starting to grow. After we can get at least a group of people to build a colony, then we'll start working on the other seasons. And I'm listing the seasons in the order that will probably be in real time. So like spring theme will probably take most of spring to get through. I'm imagining maybe even more, but hopefully not. Summer theme might take all of summer, or will probably take all of summer. Fall theme will probably take all of fall, and we'll grow from there. So is what I think I'm trying to say is, for example, we'll do a lot of winter themed stuff in the wintertime. We'll do a lot of spring themed stuff in the springtime, whether that's like, blooming flowers and growing trees and baby birds or whatever, whatever is associated with springtime. We'll just be working on that during springtime. We want our game to encapsulate what it looks like and what it feels like in spring. Then we'll move on to summer theme. We'll try to get our application to encompass and encapsulate and display and get that feeling of summer, hot temperatures, drying water, or lowering water levels, fishing, camping, berries, and the plants start to get they're starting to grow and whatnot. And then fall time, the leaves are changing, they're falling off, animals are starting to get ready for hibernation, stuff like that. Whatever you can associate with a season, that's what we want to be working on during those seasons. And again, I want to iterate, I want festivities to be part of the thing. So in winter theme, I want to have a holiday themed with lights and blinking pretty lights and having a nice snowfall maybe over a street lamp or something. Even though our citizens won't start off with the technology for like a street lamp, at least I don't imagine they will. I don't know how I want to handle evolution yet, and not evolution, but like progression of colonies and technologies. I just wanted to make a nice Christmassy, holiday-y themed screen where you can see some snowfall and some lights. And New Year's Eve we'll have some fireworks or something. I'll try to keep it interesting and I'll try to keep it in tune with what's happening in the real world so that it's at least something that you can watch and have it relate to you during the time that it currently is on your computer. And like I said, this is going to be real time, so 8 p.m. here is 8 p.m. there, December 1st here is December 1st there, and so on. And that is it. That's my presentation for what Zen is. I need to iterate again. This is episode 0, not episode 1, so that's going to come out this Sunday, the 14th, where we will start building our application. And depending on how far we get with the time that I'm allotting, I hope to have a winter theme set up by the time that New Year's happens, but we'll see. We'll cover that starting this Sunday, and we'll work from there, and we'll set our pace and see, based off of the pace that we set on Sunday, we may have to adjust some of our goals and deadlines accordingly, but that's what Zen is. It's adapting, it's growing, it's calming, it's relaxing, it's everything like that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys this Sunday.